As you can see from the title of this video and the thumbnail, I will be talking about Mallrats.
Snootchie Bootchies.
Mallrats, released in 1994, which is the second film in the Askewniverse, directed by the legend Kevin Smith, a universe he successfully created with all of his original characters are set in, consisting of Clerks, Chasing Amy, Dogma, Clerks the Animated Series, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, Clerks 2, Jay and Silent Bob Super Groovy Cartoon Movie, Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, Clerks 3. One weird thing that I also recently noticed is some actors such as Ben Affleck, Jason Lee, Brian O'Halloran, Rosario Dawson, and a few other actors will play multiple characters within the Askewniverse, which isn't exactly weird, but mostly it's confusing. I only noticed this whilst watching Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back for the third time, when Jason Lee played Brody from Mallrats, who now owns a comic book store in the beginning of the movie. Then later on in the movie, he plays Banky from Chasing Amy, who is the co-creator of this in-universe comic series called Bluntman and Chronic, based on none other than Jay and Silent Bob. So now on to Mallrats. I recently watched this for the first time in nearly a month, and only then I realized how much of a masterpiece this was. Jason Lee plays Brody and Jeremy London plays T.S. Quint, two best friends who get dumped by their girlfriends nearly at the same time, so then they seek refuge at their local mall, and all of the dominoes start to fall in place so perfectly. The plot of the movie now is them trying to win their girlfriends back, who are also at the mall. This is a film that any comic book loving film geek would wholeheartedly enjoy. Brody is a great comic book fan, as well as of course Kevin Smith, the director, is well known for being such a staple into the comic community and pop culture in general. So he implemented his knowledge of that into this film by his special ability of making all the dialogue in his films endlessly entertaining and enjoyable. You can notice how the characters are very comic book pilled. For example, Jay and Silent Bob meeting Brody and T.S. at the mall in their first scene. They just talk about a plan to take down the stage and the security guard LaForce. And not only is Silent Bob trying to use the Force from Star Wars to levitate his cigarette.
A shithead here watched Empire and Jedi last week, and ever since he's been trying to do the Jedi mind trick. Crazy fuck thinks he levitate shit with his thoughts. Knock it off.
But Jay is also geeking out with Brody about Wolverine.
Should I call you Logan, Weapon X?
No, Wolverine, snickty, snoring.
What he's doing is imitating Wolverine's berserker attack with his adamantium claws.
And of course, much later on in the film, it's established that the great Stan Lee is in the same mall in the comic book store doing a comic book signing, but unfortunately Brody can't get in. Yet later on, he does meet Stan Lee in the mall and has a very heartfelt yet also comedic conversation with Stan that tends to be quite memorable. Like, man, with all of that, how can you not enjoy the film? Aside from the comic book stuff, Mallrats is exceptionally crafted as a comedy film that actually feels really down to earth when it comes to heartfelt and genuine moments. And it also knows how to balance itself with also heavily outrageously comedic scenes. Whether it's the constant gag of Silent Bob accidentally crashing into the ladies' changing room and Willem trying to see the sailboat in this 3D painting, the film just has so many gags and non-stop comedic lines. But in the midst of all of that, there's still a lot of meaning to a lot of heartwarming and great scenes overall. They teach a lesson to these two best friends, but sort of also to the audience, that not to take things for granted, and how in the end, if you're true to yourself and you're successful, you can also be successful with your love life and your life all in all. And in Brody's case, for example, he won back Renee after quite of an elaborate plan and learned to be okay with things, and then he got his own talk show with Renee as the drummer. But man, Jay and Silent Bob, I just love it so much how they were utilized in this film. It is drastically comedically much more chaotic than the more calmer setting like Clerks. They are so lovable, and in this film their characters have so much more screen time to be more interesting and let the depth of their chaotic friendship breathe more. There's one factor that a bunch of the Askewniverse films has that makes them so special, and I think that factor works strongest in this film. And the factor is how you can always revisit this film in a week or a month or a year if you are in a good mood, and each time it will always feel like you've known these guys your whole life and you're just going on a wildly fun hangout trip with your friends at the mall. That factor is also really strong with films such as Richard Linklater's Dazed and Confused and Everybody Wants Some. Mallrats really helped kickstart a lot of fresh faces in Hollywood at that time, like Jason Lee, Claire Forlani, as well as Ben Affleck, even though he got his much bigger break in Good Will Hunting. As for Kevin Smith, he got his big break at that time for Clerks, which was a film previous to this. But Mallrats as a whole being his second movie, it's really sad how it flopped badly at the box office, making only $2 million when the budget of the film was $6.1 million. Luckily, the film did grow its fan base tremendously and it found its place perfectly. And that also proves that even though a film can flop, that doesn't mean it's bad. Overall, I really love Mallrats so much and it is such a comfort movie for me. It really feels like such an adventurous movie just being set in a mall alone. It has a unique setting once again and a really great and well put together plot and story, and this film overall is so damn hilarious. It's also very heartfelt and meaningful to me, and I really feel like it is one of the best comedies of all time because there's so much factors to why it's so good and how it is so unique, and I genuinely think it is a 10 out of 10. Overall, if you have not seen any of the Askewniverse films, I really don't know what you're doing with your time, but you have to check them out, and also on release date order because that's how you're supposed to watch them. And I think Mallrats right now for me is my personal favorite movie out of all of the Askewniverse films. So overall, if you're a Kevin Smith fan, make sure to comment down below what is your favorite Askewniverse film, and make sure to also like and subscribe to me. Only if you enjoyed the video, of course. And I'll see you guys next time.
Bye, baby kitties. Damn, son, Bob, show some heart.